I'm joined now by the ATA's President-elect, Dr. Ed Brown. Thank you so much for being here today.
Pleasure.
So let's start by talking about what an exciting time this must be for you and a little bit about what plans you have for the next year.
Yeah, well, this is an amazing time for telemedicine. I think we've been doing this for 40, 50 years, really, and then the last couple of years, this field is just taking off. So it's a really exciting time, I think, for many of the people coming to the conference. This year, we're planning on a lot more growth across the whole industry. ATA is really been well positioned to support its members. We've got an exciting plan, and we're looking to keep growing and helping folks connect over the next year.
Tell us a little bit about that plan, if you can. Just what's in store for the ATA over the next 12 months?
Sure. Well, ATA spends quite a bit of energy on really policy, advocacy, and education issues. So if you've been watching the news in the last year or so, you'll see that there's an enormous amount of energy, particularly across the states. There's about 30 states right now with various bits of telemedicine legislation or regulation. There's about 19 that actually have what we call parity laws, which actually require private insurers to pay for telemedicine, which is very exciting. And we're going to keep moving on that front. Also really education, so getting out there and explaining to folks how telemedicine can really support their programs. We've got a new education portal that's just being launched, so we're going to aggregate all kinds of education from all kinds of sources globally, make that available to our members and others across the US and the world. We've also got a whole effort underway to increase the number of standards and guidelines that are out there. So there's 7 guidelines underway. We have an incredible really truly incredible bunch of special interest groups, and the volunteers who work there have really been extraordinary in the last year. They've developed all kinds of partnerships and education events, they've done advocacy, and they're central to the development of these guidelines as well.
That's wonderful. So you actually come to this from a fairly unique perspective, being the founder and CEO of the largest telemedicine program in Canada. Tell us what lessons you've learned there that you'll be able to bring to your presidency.
Sure. So, I've been doing this for a while, probably about 20 years. So starting from kind of zero and trying to figure out how to really make this happen, across the healthcare system. So I would say, in the early days, it was really all about adoption, and we did a lot of what we call windshield time, which means getting out there and really trying to explain to folks, what it means. And then, over the years, thinking about, what does it take to drive adoption? What is required to actually make this useful and practical? And as it turns out, eliminating the barriers for physicians and other health professionals is central. Making it simple. So if it's complicated, people are busy, they got other things to do. So whatever it is that you do in healthcare, it has to be something that the health professionals can just kind of do. So that sounds easy, but there's a lot of energy required to really help people get organized, to help them find each other, to help them schedule, to do all the other things that make this happen. And then, of course, the last part is that there's a whole new world of technology that's been happening in the past couple of years. So we've gone, in the past from hardware-based sort of video conferencing platforms and the telephone, to the internet, to smartphones, to wireless devices, even to an ICU monitor and a Band-Aid through a wireless connection. So as that technology progresses, how do you incorporate all those different things, and how do you, create a solution that healthcare providers can actually use?
Oh my gosh, it sounds like it's going to be an amazing year to see how you bring all of that knowledge in for your presidency. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.